Yo, what's up, guys? Team Re here with the winner of the locals at Schorndorf today. Congratulations,
Thank you.
firstly. How did it go for you?
Well, I won, so it was great. I went 4-0. No, sorry, 5-0. Yeah, I played Virtual World bravetoken, and yeah, that's basically it. So just let's
Let's
go
go.
over the deck, right? Okay, so to start off, well, maybe that's important to say. I wanted to build the deck like well, there's so many ways to play Virtual World, and I thought this has the heaviest end board or the most difficult to break end board. So I wanted to play this version, and there's so less space. So I decided to play like nothing like board breaking cards in the main deck or hand traps or anything. So just the deck, just the engines, the deck, the archetypes, and yeah, well, that performed pretty well. So yeah, let's go over the deck profile. So for the Virtual World package, of course, I play 3 Lulu, the Searcher, 3 Gigi. It's yeah important also as a starter and extender like every card. Lily as well. Then 3 Lao Lao, the Monster Reborn. Some people only play 2 because they say it can be bricky because it's not as good as an opener as the other cards, but I think you want to draw the Virtual World cards. So if you draw Lao Lao, you still have access to, well, let's say Lao Lao and Yan Yan, so you have still access to Qinglong, and you want to search for Lulu, and so you can still make plays. So to max out the numbers of the hand effect Virtual World monsters was correct for me. Then the 1 Yan Yan, you can play 2 in the pure version, but in this version 1 is very much fine. Furthermore, very standard 3 Kowloon, it's like mandatory, 3 Qinglong, it's also quite mandatory. And then the 2 Chuche and the 1 Xuanwu, it's also basic ratio, and yeah, it's also pretty self-explanatory. Then also, like for more or less the Virtual World engine, I play the 3 Emergency Teleport. Some people only play 2 because in theory it's enough, but I want to have as most consistency as possible because this deck can be really bricky. So yeah, I mean, if you draw 2, it's fine as well, or you just discard the other one, or I also play the 1 Ghost Ogre, but more for that later. So 3 worked very well for me, and also you can always side 1 out when you go second. Yeah, so this was very much fine. Then also for consistency, I play the 1 Foolish Burial Goods, only 1 because you can, yeah, if you draw it, it can help, it can give you consistency, you can side it out, so yeah, it was just fine. I play 2 Small World also because of the consistency. And as I said, I play the bravetoken engine, and you can basically search for everything. I don't play Gamma. If you play Gamma, you can really like search everything because Gamma is a great bridge. I was almost about to say another word. Yeah, so Small World was very great, and I can also side this out going second. And yeah, nothing much to say about this one, just good searcher. And for the bravetoken engine, I play the 2 Riot of Aramesia. 2 is enough because you have access to Beatrice and you can send the Water Enchantress, so that's totally fine. And you don't want to brick on it because it can indeed be bricky as well. Then I play the 2 Water Enchantress, and yeah, this is the new ultimate rare.
Are those ultimate rares?
Yes, they look amazing on camera. I think they look great, but in real life they look like incredibly good. And yeah, I pulled them out of the winner packs. So that was a very good price for me. I'm happy about that. And yeah, also just 2 because, as I said, you can send it with Beatrice and you can search it through a Small World, so that's pretty fine. And you can also use Foolish Burial to send it. Foolish Burial is also, as some other cards I mentioned, a card you can, it's going first for consistency, or it's going second to just side it out for other things. Then, of course, the Fateful Adventure. the 1 Griffin, and I do play the Illegal Knight, as well as, of course, the Draco back. Illegal Knight's very great, so what's very nice about this one, you can basically hard draw them, then just like normal special summons one of them, and then you have emergency teleport. You can use it to special Lulu from the deck, and then you can basically just go straight into Baron and have your Omni negation, and then you can do your virtual world plays if you don't draw the Rite of Aramesia engine, or like the Water Enchantress or Rite of Aramesia. So this is great, and also as an interruption, very nice. And then for like the bricks or the one-offs, I play the 1 Fairy Tale Snow. Then I play the 1 Spell Canceller, and of course the 1 Called by the Grave. So this is basically my go-to play. I want to have set up with Snow and Grave, and I want to put the Spell Canceller on the field through Baron. A Baron, because like this is like Artifact Scythe, but I think it somehow hurts more in combination with the whole field I put on field in the end. So, and this was really great. It was a recommendation of Felix from Team Re. You can check his deck profile from Eldritch. It was a very interesting and cool matchup, and he's a great guy. So yeah, that much about that one. And Called by the Grave, obviously broken card. Many people say it has to get banned, but I don't know about that one, but it's of course very strong. And for the 41 or like 41st card, it's Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. I decided to play it like just yesterday, because actually it worked very well without it. But sometimes I do draw that much emergency teleports, and I want to have like more use of it, so I make my combo, and in the end I do still have an emergency teleport in hand, so I can set it. Then in the opponent's turn I can get to Ghost Ogre, which is another interruption, or going second. It's still not that bad, because even, I mean, you can search it through emergency teleport. So yeah, I didn't really use it. I just hard drew it once and used it as a hand trap against Therion, so it was okay. And also I could always set it out. Yeah, so much for the main deck. Let's go to the extra deck. So basically I want to end on Baron for like an Omni Negate or the revival of the Spell Canceller, and on Chenging because he can be a very big beat stick. He's hard to remove. He can banish things. He can trigger through Snow, for example. So that's a very strong monster, especially hard to out for some decks. And of course, Shen as a Floodgate is also very good against many decks. Yeah, so basically most of the time I end with these, then a Chuche, Snow Engrave, and yeah, if I still have Beatrice alive, I activate Beatrice in the opponent's turn, send Spell Canceller during the draw phase and during standby phase. I can decide if I want to still have the negate, or if I want to shuffle this back to get Spell Canceller, which is indeed crazy good. So yeah, that much for those like boss monsters. Then of course the 2 basic monsters, you do your first combo steps to draw things and to overlay into Beatrice, for example, or this one to Synchro Summon away in the later combos and draw one card. And yeah, Beatrice is so good. This card is really, really good. So you can send Snow, you can send Spell Canceller, you can send Water Enchantress, you can send Qinglong, you can send Xuanwu, you can send basically any card that has a use in the graveyard and your turn, and as well in your opponent's turn. So this is crazy. And one guy I played against, he thought, or he shuffled her back instead of something else, because she has the effect, if she's removed from the field, like destroyed or anything, she can special summon the Burning Abyss Fusion monster from the extra deck, and he thought maybe I play it, and that's actually a pretty interesting idea. I'm not sure about the effect of that fusion monster, but maybe I will try that out, because nobody expects it, especially, or except that guy maybe. So yeah, just a side note. Then I play Shooting Riser Dragon. Sometimes you can do this if you needed Beatrice to send your Water Enchantress, then you have only one more send for like the Spell Canceller, and sometimes you have enough resources to go into Shooting Riser and send the snow for the following turn. So that's pretty good. Then Vermilion Dragon Mech, I didn't use it today, but sometimes it can unbrick hands. So yeah, as I said, in theory it's a good card. It's also it can destroy a card from the opponent. It can recycle something, so it's okay, but it doesn't use it today. Juju, I didn't really use it today, just once through a very weird play, but it's it can also be a kind of wall, and it's removal as well, and it's a virtual world card, so generally very strong, but didn't use it. Fanfan was really great today. The banish from field and grave is very good, and if he gets destroyed, he can special summon 2 monsters from the deck, so also like just a strong Xyz monster, and you can put the Gaia Dragon on top of it, so that's great. Then I play the Constella Ptolemy M7. I used it once because I did some weird plays with a weird hand I like never saw before, so I had to recycle a card from the grave to the hand. It was in the last matchup against Leo with his Dino deck, and just to give a card back to my hand so I can trigger Schwanwu in the grave to discard the card, so he was just there instead of Beatrice, but it was still enough. Then Utopia Beyond is in general very, very good. Didn't use it today, but it can help out some crazy monsters. I had another day, or last week locals, I used this against the Dark Lord fusion monster someone used in his Branded Despia deck, so that was very good there, but didn't use it today. Breaksword, in theory, it's okay. It's another removal. It's the only rank 3 I play, so I think it's quite important to have access to at least one rank 3, because sometimes they do like floodgates or anything. You want to have just another form of possible removal. Then I play the Gaia Dragon just to overlay over the 6s for the Zeus. And what is very cool as well, last week I played against Dino Morphia, and it's very hard to kill them, but you can like very easily do piercing damage if you have access to a monster that does this, so this is cool as well. And for the last card of the extra deck, I play Zeus. Didn't use it today. It was just like I did some damage. It wasn't enough, and then I just put Zeus on my Xyz that was still on the board, so just to give more pressure to like end the game through the pressure. So that much for the extra deck. Then the side deck, as I said, I don't want to play hand traps or anything, so I decided to play just board breaking cards. So I played Forbidden Droplet. Also, this was from I can play this because of Felix, so thank you for that one. Didn't use it today. Maybe sometimes would have been good, but yeah, it's a broken card, especially going second in Virtual World when you send like Jinglong or anything you want to have in your grave, or Water Enchantress. It's great. Then I played Evenly Matched. This card was insane today.
So tell me about the Evenly Matched right now.
Yeah, so I think I'm like, the card just loves me. So I always see it if I side it. So that's crazy, especially with this card in like they team
You play
up.
one Lightning Storm?
Yes, the one Lightning Storm, because when I draw it, it's it can be good. But if I draw multiples, it's not that good because I can it's hard once per turn. So yeah, and in 2 games I drew like exactly this. I drew like evenly Lightning Storm. So this was against Felix, and it was very hard. So I'm sorry for that one. But also against the Therion player, it was like, yeah, a very good answer to his first turn board. And unfortunately, I had 2 other bricks in hand, but like if you put this on your opponent's board and he has like 0 cards, and you can just, I set it up like Schwanwu and Chuche just to have just to save my life points through the Schwanwu, who can that can switch the attack position of an opponent's monster. And then I just had to draw some good cards, and when Virtual World goes off, it goes off. So yeah, too much advantage if he loses all his cards. And then I played the 2 Twin Twister. I think I didn't see this today, but yeah, generally, of course, also against some back row stuff, or like some combo or mid-range decks do play the like floodgates. So I want to have an out, or like against Mystic Mind. So basically, I do have an in archetype out through the Chuche, but yeah, I just want to have more against that back row stuff as well as Red Reboot. And yeah, the other cards I play are 1 Artifact Scythe and 1 Token Collector. So basically, I don't have any space. I would like to play D-Barrier, but D-Barrier doesn't help me with the consistency. I just want to play and I want to put my board on field. So these are like only optional changes to Spell Canceller, like maybe this if I play against Sword Soul, or this if I see, okay, the opponent doesn't play spells at all or just a minimum. So yeah, I didn't use any of these, so Spell Canceller was always great. And yeah, for the last card, I unfortunately couldn't use today, and also not last week, but sometimes it's really hard if you go into time with like combo decks, and Virtual World is like, the board in the end can be like good, but not that good that the opponent says, okay, scoop. So if my board is good, they try to out it, but they still can't because they underestimate how good it is. So I often go into time and I just want to have an answer because like if my opponent sees I play the go second board breaking cards, they don't think about like that I side this. So yeah, it's just an answer for going second in time but didn't come up today. Yeah, so that's basically it for the deck.
Okay. And how were your matchups, and would you change anything about the deck right now?
My matchups were like, the first game was against Eldritch. It was a little bit grindy, but in the end,
Yeah, just say it.
yeah, it wasn't that difficult to be honest. The second game was against Therion. It wasn't that hard because I drew like good going second cards, as I already mentioned. And when I went first, I won the dice roll. All the dice rolls were like even. Sometimes I won, sometimes I lose. So yeah, but going first obviously is very good. And yeah, so Therion wasn't that difficult. It was like pure Therion. Something was okay, but not that strong as far as I saw in that matchup. The third game was against Heroes. To be honest, he misplayed a little bit, so his board could have been better, but not that great. So yeah, it wasn't just that strong, to be honest. I outed it, so yeah, nothing much to say about that one. And what was the next one? Let me think about it. Yeah, it was a Tri-Brigade Scareclaw, which was also, I didn't saw before, of course, Tri-Brigade, and I know Scareclaw a little bit. What's interesting, so in the rounds before, I went 2-0 each game, or like each match, and in the Tri-Brigade match I lose once. It was the second game because he let me go first and I sided just wrong, so yeah, but in general I went 2-1, so I won that one too. And the last match was against Leo from Team Re, and it was basically a dice roll win, so who goes first wins. His board was insane, really. It was like with Naturia Beast crazy. So, and we have in general, like, it's a similar taste of the deck because he does this Naturia Beast anti-spell something thing, and I do the Spell Canceller anti-spell thing. So, and both is like going first combo and can also break boards. So it was very cool, but unfortunately it was like who goes first wins kind of scenario. So yeah, that's for the matchups. And if I would change anything, I think not really, to be honest. So I mean, I almost won every game, so it's very cool. The extra deck has a big toolbox, so but I didn't miss anything, so I just try it out more, do matches with this build, and let's see if I will change something in the future.
Yeah, great. So we're looking forward for more first places from you, I guess.
I hope so.
And that's it for the deck profile, guys. Team Re, let's go.
Yes, Team Re. Shout out to Team Re. Shout out to my boys.
Team Re.
And see you
See you guys
soon.